Alright guys, we're getting ready to go to the job. Got danger zone on the trailer, the A43. New York is set to get anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of snow. So we are getting ready for that. And since we're getting ready for the snow, I figured I would like to share some tips with you guys with snow removal. Now, whether you have big contracts, small contracts, it doesn't really matter. Towing equipment, moving equipment, machines, trucks, etc. can be hazardous in the snow, especially with slippery conditions. So, with that being said, many of us like to leave our equipment at the site, which is a great idea. Just leave your house, drive to the site, start the engines, you're ready to go. Bring a battery charger with you. Bring some fluids if necessary. But there's always an untold issue with leaving equipment on job sites. You could be victims of theft. Now, here are some tips I have for you if you are doing snow removal and you are leaving machines on site. The number one thing I always see with guys leaving equipment in parking lots is they leave their machines either on a trailer or next to a trailer. Now, of course, bringing a trailer in tow in the snow and icing conditions is very dangerous, and I understand this. However, leaving your trailer in the parking lot, you're asking for trouble. Many thieves, many people, even common people who are not thieves to begin with, snow can make people crazy. And just about everybody in America has access to a pickup truck capable of towing a skid steer loader, whether it be a Bobcat, Cat, etc. So, leaving a trailer is just like leaving a package deal. All they have to do is back up, hook up to a trailer, pull it forward, load the machine, and go. Now, of course, in the world of coding machines and locks and all this equipment theft prevention, it could be difficult. But for a seasoned veteran thief, it can be very easy. And if it's a thief with just, let's say, a van or a pickup, you've basically handed them the keys to your whole operation. So if you can, leave your trailers on a different site or leave them back in your yard and tow them to a site empty. If they're empty, they're very unlikely to slide. It's the weight that tends to be the problem. If you don't have that luxury, if you have to plow multiple sites and you only have one machine to move and you must leave it on the site, always leave the Bobcat or skid steer, whatever you have, in front of the trailer. Don't pull the machine off the trailer behind and unhook your trailer. It's an easy 1, 2, 3 operation. Hook up to a trailer, throw the ramps down, pull the machine on, and you're gone. I see a lot of guys do that, and a guy by my office actually lost a Bobcat that very way. He backed into the driveway, unloaded the machine, unhooked the trailer, went away for the night, and that was the end of that. His machine was gone the next day. If you have to leave plows, buckets, extra supplies, chain them to a fence, chain them to a fence post. Try not to chain them to the links themselves because it's very easy to just cut the fence and you could just take the piece of attachment or whatever they're trying to take. So try to chain it to a concrete barrier or a post or something that's difficult to cut in the snow in the night. Generally, thefts are going to occur at night. They're not going to occur during the day, per se. Could they occur during the day? Of course they can. Try not to leave your trucks in the parking lot because then you leave truck, trailer, machine, very easy, hot wire a truck, and they can get up and go. If you leave salt in storage, try to lock the doors. Try to block it with a machine or something so that people can't get in. People will steal your salt like you wouldn't believe. I went to Home Depot the other day. People were killing each other over a few bags of salt that were left. So, of course, be wary of that as well. And if you have larger equipment like a payloader, try to have a kill switch on the battery. Now, your machines are there, you're ready to plow some snow. They're just, you know, some things to keep in mind. Fill your fuel tank up, the diesel tanks. Fill them up before you start. This way, with the snow, with the water, with the freezing, you could always get a little bit of condensation. If you have the tank full of fuel, a little bit harder to gel the fuel, a little bit harder for the condensation to lock up your machine. Another tip, bring extra fuel filters with you. Don't leave home without a fuel filter. You're going to need it. Change your oil, change your hydraulic oil filters. These are all things that I used to do when I used to plow. I'm a snowplow guy, 17 years, you know, now retired. But when I used to plow the banks, continuous plow, I had the machines completely gone through, all the fluids changed, hydraulic oil, motor oil, fuel filter, you name it, we changed it. Check all your lights, check all your safety lights. Check your antifreeze as well. If you could flush your radiator, change the coolant, that's not a bad idea either. If you bring fuel in cans, try to put some diesel 911 in there or some type of other product. Cans, you know, they tend to carry garbage at the bottom, they tend to hold water. You know, it just keeps the diesel a little more fresh if you keep it prepared. If you have air tires, have a little air compressor with you. If you have solid tires, like I do, God bless us, we don't have to worry about a flat tire. If you have a track loader, if you don't have a skid steer, keep a grease gun, keep plenty of tubes of grease with you. It's very easy to throw a track on pavement, especially when you're plowing on pavement for extended periods of time. It's easy, you hit a curb, or you make a wrong turn, you hit a bump, the track will pop right off. It's not designed for snow. Unless you have snow tracks, I honestly don't know how good they are at staying on the machine, but I can tell you from experience, tracks like to walk off. I used to use an 864, my father's machine, the tracks walked off quite often, even with the slightest turns, and even if you're very careful. Another thing, keep the machine fully greased. Water can get into your pins, cause some damage with the freezing. It may not break the machine now, but it will cause a lot of damage later. You got the salt flying around. Keep the machine lubed every 8-12 hours. Try to grease the front end. It's at the bottom. It's taking a lot of a beating. You know, you're going over bumps, hitting potholes with the snow boxes, with your plows, buckets, etc. Try to keep the bottom pins lubed up. They're going through a lot of abuse. If you have cab enclosure, check your heater, check your filters, make sure everything is good to go. Your windshield wiper, I just put a new safety wiper on mine. I have the strobe light ready to go. Basically, what else can I really cover? So remember, if you're leaving your machines on a job site, try to pack them all together. If there's security on the site, you know, if they're in one area, it's a lot easier for a security guard to keep track. I know some of you might say, well, if we pack them all together, the guys can hide in between machines to try to get them started. I understand that. That's a very intelligent theory, but security, it's a lot simpler for them to keep an eye on one central area than have everything spread out. That's for you guys who do your big malls, you have a lot of equipment, got to keep track of that. Always carry extra fuel filters, extra fuel cans. Try to make sure you put some type of lubrication in there. Diesel 911 works pretty good for me. There are other products out there. Always have starting fluid with you, just in case you have cold conditions. And check your lights, check all your fluids, change all the fluids if possible. Keep your machine greased. Guys, be very safe out there. Have a fun time plowing, make lots of money. Peace out.